highlight all of these. Go to insert, and I would insert scatter. Under scatter, I would just pick these points right here. It says scatter with only markers. Right, so there's our scatter with only markers. It should come out nice like this, and you can see that it follows a trend, right? If we look at the red dots, pH 5, it's increasing over time, and that's exactly what's happening here. So it looks like our chart represents our data, but sometimes when you do it, just the numbers get mixed up. You might have the axes wrong. If they are wrong, it might look something like this, where it's just all screwy, right? So to fix that, all you got to do is just select data, switch the row and column, and it should fix the problem, right? So now what we have to do to get the information for our derivative plot is we have to make lines for these different data and get the slope for these lines, right? So what we have to do is tell the computer to go ahead and make these lines. So I'll do that in just a second. I don't like these grid lines, so I just get rid of them. All right. So I'm going to tell the computer to make these lines and give me a slope. We'll start from top to bottom, pH 3 all the way to pH 9. So all I have to do is just right-click on any one of these data points. So pH 3, I can just right-click on this one. And then see how they're all lit up? That means you've selected the right data. Now all you have to do is add trend line and hit display equation on chart. Right? So we were putting a linear trend line, we wanted a straight line, and they were displaying the equation on the chart right here. And you'll see it put a straight line through those points, and it gave us a slope. Right? Or not a slope, but an equation. I'm just going to put that right up there. The second one is this red, the red data for pH 5. Right click, add trend line, display equation on chart. And I just move that over here. The green are next. The same thing. And the last data are those purple X's. So here's our last ones. Add trend line, display equation on chart. All right, so here's our equations for all of those different lines that represent our data. Right, here's our equation for pH 3, pH 5, pH 7, and pH 9. Now what we need to do is plot our derivative plot. And basically what our derivative plot, like this over here, what you're seeing is reaction rate versus temperature, or reaction rate versus pH. So we know that we're going to be looking at different pHs, so you might as well just put 3, 5, 7, 9. And then we're going to put those reaction rates. And remember, the reaction rates are the slopes. For example, for pH 3, it's this slope right here, this number before the X. So I'm just going to copy that and paste it right here. Same thing for 5. I'm getting these slopes, which represent the reaction rate, and I'm putting them right next to their pH. pH 7, here's the rate, and then lastly pH 9. So then what you do, now you have these data. It's a different table. All you got to do is just highlight them, insert, scatter. Do a scatter with a smooth line, because we want, it's just going to be one line like we see drawn up here on the board. When you do that, we get a plot that looks like this. Here's our different pHs. You can see one at 3, one at 5, one at 7, one at 9. Here's our rates. Right? So what this is telling us is this lets us know at which pH our reaction works the best. Judging by this graph, I'd say it's like somewhere maybe just to the right of pH 5, right? That 5 is just to the left of that peak, so I'd say maybe like 5.1 or something like that. That's going to be the optimal pH for this particular enzyme, for peroxidase. So now what you need to do is, once you have your graph, and you do this for not only your derivative plot, but for all of your graphs, you need to make sure you label the axes. To do that, you just go to Layout, Axis Titles. You can do a horizontal one first, one below, and this particular graph is going to be pH. We can do axis titles, our vertical axis. This is going to be our reaction rate, or let's see, peroxidase reaction rate. If you wanted to, you could put slope in parentheses. So there's our reaction rate. Then you can also add a title. So chart title, do above chart. Chart title, Bump chart. And then we do reaction rate versus time, or versus pH. Right? So there's our chart right there. That's all there is to it. Right?
And that would be chart 5.
This one right here would be what your chart 5 should look like, right?
Yeah.
Reaction rate versus pH.